Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're back. We're doing a best of 3 Crimson Vow draft. We opened Henrika Domnathi. I think this is the third time I played this card. It's very, very strong. You can transform it immediately, or you can draw cards. You can make, your opponent sack stuff. It's pretty filthy card. Really, really good. I mean, at worst, 4-mana, 3/4 flying Death Etch lifelink that can inflate itself. Yeah, it's a real good mythic. Resistance Squad in here too. Storm Chaser Drake. These are great cards as well. I like the Scab. I haven't really played with Militia Rallier, but I played against it plenty. It's good. Wolf Strike's good removal. We got Doom Dissenter in here. Pretty easy. Henrika. All right. Follow-up pick. Well, best card is presumably Circle of Confinement. Yeah. Not a big fan of the white-black vampire, but there is white-black life gain. It's doable. I mean, we probably just take the best card here, which is by far Circle of Confinement. It just deals with cheap stuff and is pretty good. Otherwise, if I really wanted to go deep right away on black-red, I could take the Celebrants. It does seem too early to take that, though. A couple other good white cards in here as well, and a Piercing Light, but we'll take the Circle of Confinement. All right, the pick here. Well, in black, we just have Vampire's Kiss. There's Infestation Expert. I could take the Blood Petal Celebrant and go more for a vampire route. Aggro Vamps. It's also Fearful Villager. Infestation Expert is pretty excellent. I have had some luck with green-black. A few different directions to go. There's also Heron of Hope to stick with the circle. That's not bad, and it flies. All right, I'll take the Heron. I would say it's probably slightly worse than Infestation Expert, but it does fly and gains a bunch of life, and there is life gain synergy. It also has synergy with Henrika if you can give it lifelink, so it kind of makes sense. All right. No, even if you don't give it lifelink because it's got flying. That's true. Jeez. All right. Distracting Geist is good. Sigarda's Imprisonment is some removal. Courier Bat already looking pretty good. Yeah, we probably take the Bat here, actually. I like Distracting Geist, too. And Imprisonment actually is playable, for sure. But what I like about Bat is how good it already looks in here. We have 3 things that potentially gain life. It's pretty good. Getting back Henrika or the Heron and keeping the engine going. Imprisonment is removal. It's a decent argument there, but I'm going to take the Bat. I like the synergies already going for it, so. All right, Valorous Stance is pretty good removal. Hits a lot of targets. We do have an enchantment already for Heron Blessed Geist, but I'll take Valorous Stance and be happy enough about that. Radiant Grace. Now that one I'm not too impressed with. Some green and blue in here. Yeah, I don't know about Radiant Grace. This pack just might be a bit of a miss because I'm not going to splash for anything. I could just take the best card, which is probably maybe Cruel Witness. It has some synergy with Henrika. I mean, bottom line, I'd like to play Henrika if possible. Regardless of what 2-color combination I'm in. All right, we can take the Dissenter. Generally, just a good card. Can block. It's good if we get any exploit. And 2 bodies in 1. Buy some time. Pretty good. 2-drop. All right, some pretty good white stuff in here. Skulking Killer, but I don't really like that card. I think we'll just take the Piercing Light, get a 1-mana removal spell. Very valuable in some matchups, not so much in others, but we'll see. All right, good opportunity to take the Rallier here. Not particularly busted in our deck, but can untap things. It can attack. If we have 2 creatures, and blocks well, and it works really well with training. So we don't have any trainers yet, but I feel like it's a card that's kind of meant for the training deck. Oh, well, I've got some good options here. Could take another Piercing Light. I don't mind taking another Heron, too. Getting some more life gain going. I think it's definitely one of these two over the knife, though. But I'm cool taking another Heron. It's evasive. The life gain you get from it is pretty relevant. Take the Geist here. We only have one enchantment so far, but it's all right. Got a lot of flyers. Got mostly flyers right now. It's pretty good. Well, this is definitely Sigarda's Imprisonment. We'll take it. With all these flyers, locking up ground dudes over flying dudes, you know, there's spots where it's not good, but there's also spots where it's pretty important. Like, it's good on stuff like Doom Dissenter, too, which is nice. I don't really care about either of these cards. Radiant Grace, I don't think we're playing it. All right, well, black might be getting cut, but I still would very much like to play Henrika if possible. I think we could take the Initiate here. It's going to be good with the Rallier. It's not so good with the Dissenter. It's good with our flyers, I guess. Otherwise, I could take the Innocent Traveler. What I like about that is I found it to be very good, and often a 4-mana 5/3 flyer keeps our flying trend going. I mean, granted, we need some more cheap beats too, but I guess we already have 3 4-drops. I do like the Innocent Traveler, though. I think I'm going to take Traveler over Light and Initiate. We'll see if I'm wrong about it, but just because, like I said, we have quite a few 4-drops already. All right, well, Griff Rider's looking good. There's Minister, too. But another flyer, it unfortunately just doesn't have that much synergy in here besides the Militia Rallier. But with Henrika, you can pump it, so... I mean, Henrika, like, pumps our whole team in this deck, so that's pretty good. Howlpack Piper's the rare. It's a strong card, too. All right, we could do Arm the Cathars. It's pretty good with training, but we probably take Fierce Retribution, which is a card I like. And I've mentioned this before, but this card I think is actually at its best in a deck like this where you have a ton of flyers, because then you can just keep attacking in and pay 2 mana to kill whatever's on the ground attacking you, so it's pretty good. Arm the Cathars is good with training, but Fierce Retribution looks like it's better for this deck. All right, well, probably take the Fell Stinger and be very happy about it. Currently, we only have like the Doom Dissenter that I really want to sack to it, but it's also going to be good with training. Death Toucher, 3 power, pretty slick. We don't have the blood tokens for Ragged Recluse, so I don't think we want to do that one. And Foreboding Statue actually looks pretty good here too, but I'm going to take the Fell Stinger. It's a better card, I think. All right, another Heron of Hope. There's Vampire Slayer. Getting a lot of 4-drops. Lifelink is good, however. Vampire Slayer's not that great, though. Whatever, we'll take the Heron. All right, another Rallier. I'm kind of on board with that. It's going to block on the ground well. We don't have the blood tokens for security. Mind Leech Ghoul's playable, and we could use some more cheap dudes, but I still like Rallier in here. Blocks on the ground reasonably well. Sometimes attacks and pumps our rider. Nurturing Presence. Well, guess we take it. Makes more flyers. Not really what we're looking for, but I guess it technically works with training, sort of. Also, Henrika is just so good with flyers that even making little spirits can pump them all up. It's kind of nice. I mean, black has definitely felt like we're getting cut off. White's open and black is getting cut off, but the black cards we have are pretty good. I'm not unhappy with any of the black cards we have. All right, let's take the Recluse. We still really don't have the blood token makers. We've got, what, the Imprisonment, and that's it? All right, well, a little bit light on blood token makers, but we need some more cheap creatures, so I'll take the Recluse. Take another Piercing Light. I don't think we have enough +1/+1 counter stuff for Escort to really be considered here. And Piercing Light is going to be good early protection, so I'm cool with that. So if I take Persistent Specimen, I have basically Fellstinger that synergizes with it. I could take the Gargantua instead. Sometimes it's valuable. Oh, unfortunately, Gargantua is a non-bow with the Sigarda's Imprisonment, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Sanctify's a good sideboard card. I don't think we're gonna be lacking enough playables to want the Nurturing Presence. Point of Discussion is playable, especially in a deck that gains a bunch of life. And it gives us blood token access more for Recluse. That's good. Hey, last pick, playable card. I'll take it. Oh, Blood Vial Purveyor. Well, add this to the list of really overpowered cards. So this one is definitely on that list. Super powered 4-drop. Easily taking it here. Nothing even kind of comes close. Regularly bashes for 6+ damage. 4 mana. That's a flyer. Take the Gift of Fangs. Typically, I like Gift more when I'm running vampires, and granted, I've got 2, but we are more likely just taking the Imprisonment and being happy enough about that because it's good. More removal, more ways to get blood tokens. I'm on board. Bad against exploit decks, but good against non-exploit decks. Twin Blade Geist is an option, or we can take Gift of Fangs. I don't like Unholy Officiant. Maniform Hellkite's a real dirty one, but we're quite a ways away from that. I mean, giving stuff Double Strike is pretty nasty, too. I could see doing the Geist over the Gift, honestly. I think Twin Blade Geist is a scary card, and it can do a lot. Parish Blade Trainees feels fine here, or we could do Socialite, but we're already 4-drop heavy. I'll take the Trainee. We have 2 Ralliers, so I think that could pan out well for us. And it seems like it's actually a reasonable sack target, especially if it has counters on it. I think Heron Blessed Geist is unlikely to happen, despite the fact that we have... Well, maybe it is. We have a reasonable amount of enchantments now with 2 imprisonments and a Circle of Confinement and a Twin Blade Geist. Maybe we do have enough tools for that. Might be off Persistent Specimen. Kind of want to keep all my blood token stuff for Ragged Recluse, but we'll see. Ooh, another Retribution. Could do the Gluttonous Guest. Life gain in here is, well, the blood token's good for the Recluse, but I think we just take Retribution. We have so many flyers in here. Retribution's going to be great. Kindly Ancestor is also great. I like Lifelink, and another add it to the list of our enchantments for Heron Blessed Geist. Well, we've got the classic good Alex Stephenson problem, which is way too many good cards. Deck here. Probably Ghoul's gone. Ralliers might be gone. And Trainee might be gone too. I think we're just doing better things than them. Butler's cool. It's a way to get back some pretty powerful things. Arguably better than Doom Dissenter, maybe. We'll see. Yeah, we might be off the Militia Rallier plan. I like Undying Malice. It's good with Exploit. It's also just good 1-mana protection, but Adamant Will is 2-mana protection, I guess. Probably would rather have the Malice, I feel like. Come back, get into the battlefield effects again. Not that we have that many, but... Another Recluse. I'm going to consider it. I'm going to have to do a count of blood tokens, because there are a reasonable amount in here, but we'll see. We may not have enough to make that plan come together. I don't think Undying Malice is going to happen. We have too many cuts we have to make. But our removal suite looks good. Unholy Officiant sucks. I'm not going to play it. I doubt I'm playing Honored Heirloom either, but I guess if I have to deal with cards in graveyards. Could take the Blood... I might take Blood Fountain here, just because it's cheap. I don't think it's going to make the deck, but that's alright. Alright. A little bit 4-drop heavy. 19 creatures, so we can cut 4 creatures. Weakest 4 creatures. I'm still thinking they're probably the Ralliers. Griff Rider, just being a random flyer that probably doesn't get pumped all that often, is probably still good enough. We have a few ways to pump it, so that's fine. How many actual ways do we have to pump Recluses right now? We have Blood Fountain, that's 1. Two, 3, 4, 5. This makes it for your opponent. So I might just get off the Ragged Recluse plan. I don't think that's going to work out that well for us anyway, so I'm all right with getting rid of that plan. And then we have 15 creatures, so I think we can at least cut 1 point of discussion. I might go to 14 creatures and cut a trainee. Just we don't have a lot of means to make it bigger. And then I have to make one final cut, and it should be a non-creature, so point of discussion versus Blood Fountain. They get card advantage in different ways. I might do the Blood Fountain instead, just as a way to get back Purveyor and Henrika and Herons randomly. I like this deck. I think this deck has good value in it. More white than black, but we have actual double black. I think this is an example of, even though we have, gosh, we have way more white cards than black cards, but we really want the black mana more, especially if we're going to pump with Henrika. I might flip-flop this just because we have the double black. So many. That's weird. But, yeah, I like this deck. I think it looks fun. We'll run it like this, and we'll see you round 1. All right, round 1. We'll play first. Ooh, I don't like that one. This one's good. And I think we'll dump... what are we dumping? I suppose we're dumping one of the removal spells because I want to make sure we hit Henrika in a timely manner. So I guess I'll dump Piercing Light because Fierce Retribution deals with essentially the same things at a... well, it can deal with more things at a higher cost. I don't know. It makes sense to me. Another question is, do I do the Fell Stinger and do I exploit it? I might prefer to have a 3-2. Well, I'm not going to Fierce Retribution a Valdarin Epic here. That much I'm sure of. But still haven't decided whether I want to sack the Fellstinger or not. Having a 3-2 Death Touch is pretty good. Although it is just a Flame Blessed Bolt away from dying, whereas Flame Blessed Bolt can't hit these guys. I might sack the Fellstinger for that reason. Opponent is really deciding whether they want to attack me for 1 here. There we go. Alright, let's do the Stinger and exploit itself here. All right. Well, we didn't hit the land, so I'm kind of glad I did it. Uh-oh. Well, I'm going to imprison that, so I guess that's okay. Let's do... Let's do Henrika. And we're going to draw. Uh-oh. This tag doesn't make a ton of sense. Whoops. Not sure what they were thinking with that one. I like it, though. All right, so now we're going to transform Henrika, and we have Valorous Stance and Fierce Retribution. That's pretty good. And we can even attack with both. We're going to kill both their guys, so this is fine. So I can actually cast Fierce Retribution for full price here. I could have waited for attacks to do that. Not sure why they're still attacking. I like it, though. Makes it easier for me. Guess we wait for blocks here. All right, so we can go land. Heron, Blood Fountain. Guess we can pass. Guess I could have done the Blood Fountain first and sacked the Blood Token to see if I drew something that would end up being better than the Heron of Hope, but Heron of Hope's pretty good here. Alana's definitely good too. I mean, it just gets to pump and give haste. It's pretty strong. And it's got First Strike and Reach too, but that's all right. What can I do with 8 mana? So I could sack the Blood Fountain and still play Henrika. So the 8th mana here is actually surprisingly good. I think we just attack with Henrika. Force the blocks here. So they die at the end of their turn. It's pretty bold when I'm at 24. They're surprisingly unpatient this game. Impatient is the word I'm looking for, not unpatient. I should name this draft Unpatient. I'll just take it. They lose because they cast the Gambit. All right. Very not great time to cast that. I do think that card is pretty powerful and unexpected. And there are certainly times where it can just straight up win, like when your opponent's tapped out and you just take 2 turns. But there was not the best time to cast it. Sideboard options we have. Let's see. It can blow up artifacts and enchantments. That's just like Sheltering Boughs. It's not good enough. So, Nurturing Presence. I'm not really seeing much. I guess Radiant Grace technically can make a Puppeteer enter tap. That's probably not good enough either. That Puppeteer is pretty aggressive. I could see maybe cutting a Griff Rider for like a Rallier, because at least Rallier can block the Puppeteer pretty effectively. So maybe I cut the Griff Rider, do the Rallier. What kind of removal did they show us? None? Huh. That also makes the Courier Bat slightly less needed, but that's not true. I mean, it brings stuff back still. It's good. Valor's Stance, in fact, does not deal with Helana and Alina very effectively. Something to be conscious of. Even Circle of... It kind of dodges basically all of our removal. Dodges Valor's Stance, dodges Circle. We have to pay 6 mana to kill it with Retribution. Imprisonment is really not what we want it to do against it. So that card is just going to be pretty exceptional. I mean, it is exceptional, but particularly exceptional against us. I kind of want to bring in another Rallier. Is that possible? I think I'm going to dump the Bat for another Rallier and see if that buys us some time. Rallier needs some help. But I feel like it blocks well. Might be a good on-the-draw choice against Puppeteer. I don't want to just randomly lose to Puppeteer because that game, or card rather, takes the game over pretty quickly. All right, well, opponent didn't stick around for game 2, so we'll see in round 2. All right, round 2, we'll play first. I guess we'll keep. Hand's a little bit risky, but we have 2 black. We have our strongest card in hand. Makes it a little more desirable. We can at least play the Butler. I'm really hoping the Butler doesn't mill 3 planes. Please don't mill 3 white sources. I'm begging you. All right. That was like, I couldn't have asked for a better mill. It was the best we could have possibly gotten. Still not hitting land, but it's exactly what we wanted with just a Purveyor in the graveyard too. Uh-oh. It's the free spell card, huh? Jeez, card's good. Guess we'll get our Purveyor back. Oh, perfect timing. Let's do, well, Purveyor's a pretty tough one to kill, so I'm going to play this first. Like, you can't just nuke it for 5. You can bounce it. That's pretty good. You can tap it. That's pretty good. But nuke it? That's pretty tough. 6 toughness is usually right outside of the range of most burn spells. All right, so they had the tap. Sensible attack there. So let's go land and do Henrika. And I think we're actually gonna, we can pay for Syncopate here too, which is nice. So they can abrade it. Looks like they have it. Yeah. It's a tough one. I think the worst part is our Piercing Light can't actually deal with Rack-and-Tour or Aerith for that matter, but no choice. All right, well, they kind of had what they needed here. If I draw any land, at least I can go like Innocent Traveler and keep up Fierce Retribution. I think we Piercing Light because we need to find that land. Good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Alright, so we go land, Traveler, we leave up Fierce Retribution. I can attack for 9 here. I'm gonna actually do it. I could keep it back, but I've got, you know, Fierce Retribution for the Maniform Hellkite, so hopefully that's good enough. Wow, yeah. Blood tokens are pretty slick with Aerith. They have multiple Aerith? Wow. That's pretty cool. So they only have until this turn to cast it. That's cool. All right. All right. So now we can Fierce Retribution, the Hellkite, which is good. Guess we'll have to take 5. Unless I chump. Might need to chump here. If I jump, I take 2. And then I'll have Heron of Hope plus Piercing Light. I probably need to do this. All right, so we can attack. They can block with Lantern Bearer. I feel like I can't really keep this going though, just because Aerith's gonna draw so many cards. I kind of got to attack here and hope that they don't have an answer for Heron and that I'm able to, because they, I guess I forgot that it had Trample, as if this 4-drop didn't have enough on it already. It's got Trample too. Yeah. Let's make sure it has Trample too, guys. Wait, what'd you say that card did? So every time they cast spells, it gives them blood tokens, but it makes it stronger? Make sure it has Trample too. Make sure you tack on Trample on that Blood Vial Purveyor. You got it, boss. Trample's headed on there, ready to print. All right. What else? So they have multiple Braids, Chill of the Grave. They got the Maniform Hellkite. They got some goodies in there. Multiple Aeriths is pretty unheard of, although I haven't seen much of blue-red, so maybe that's why. Do we want... Our Griff Rider's bad here. Well, they get kind of blocked up by Lantern Bears to a certain extent, but I don't know if I care enough about that. Is there anything that's like actually bad against them? Valorous Stance is fantastic. Deals with Aerith, the Hellkite, Rakentour. I like that a lot. Sanctify deals with Cradle of Safety. Is this non-creature or instant sorcery? Non-creature. Oh, it's a lot better. I think we run it back. I think there's some downsides, upsides and downsides. All right, we're going to mull this one. One lander is probably not a good idea. This one's fine, though, except for the fact that it's got a million of Heron of Hopes in it. Oops, I suppose I probably should have played the white for Piercing Light, but that's all right. Actually gonna dig here. Well, they didn't abrade it at the end of my turn, which is surprising. I'm willing to 2-for-1 myself if they block. I guess that sort of telegraphs a fierce retribution, but that's all right. Well, they're not playing around it. They got just a grip full of blue spells. All right. Well, they got screwed, and then we won. So we'll see you in round 3. All right. Keeping. Well, Griff Rider's a little bit less good against Lantern Bearer, but we do have Henrika in this hand, and we can cast it, so that's a good sign. So Griff Rider into Henrika, draw a card. I'd like to play around counter spells. That might be a good idea. They're also off their second color, which is pretty relevant. Whoops. Uh-oh. I was like, thought I was stuck on a zoom in there for a second. I'm surprised they sacked that. I mean, I'm guessing they really need their second color, but not being able to block Griff Rider now. So we'll draw a card and lose a life. Get in for 2. Next turn we can transform. Unless they kill it, of course. But I don't know anything that can kill it for 1 mana. Oh, so they have playing some black. Got it. All right. I mean, you have to attack there. Yeah. How could you not? How could you not attack? All right. Ooh, Valorous Stance. That's going to be a good one. Although, I mean, it doesn't protect against everything, but let's, let me think about this. Well, obviously we're transforming. And we'll get in and do our training. I guess we just leave up Valorous Stance. Ah. Well, I'm going to keep Henrika then. For the life gain. And because she costs 4 mana, and I'm a little bit mana starved. Alright. Guess best use of mana is the Heron of Hope here, so we'll do that. And we still have to discard. I guess I'll get rid of Heron Bless Geist, because we can get it back at some point. Or still make use of it out of our graveyard, unlike everything else in our hand. Alright, well, I could have protected that if I had not played the Heron, but this'll do. Still need to draw a land here. If I may. Thank you. Alright. So now we can go lifelink. Get in. Play the bat. Get back Henrika. Sure hope they don't have Hullbreaker Horror. Desperate Farmer, huh? Okay. Ah. Well, we have an answer for that, so I'm okay with it. Makes sense. Flip the farmer, get a 2/2. So we can Circle of Confinement and then still play yeah, I think that's the play. Exile the Harvester. And we'll play the Griff Rider. So our Sigarda's Imprisonments are going to be a lot worse this game. Because we've already seen multiple exploit things as well as a bunch of bounce effects. So exploit's not going to happen, or exploit makes imprisonment quite a bit worse. I'm going to have to think about that one. Kind of converts their imprisoned creatures into free value stuff, which is not the best. I don't like that. Haven't figured out what to run instead yet, but we'll figure it out. Maybe the Militia Ralliers. I'm not in love with that, but I just don't really like the imprisonments here. I'm not sure they're going to do it for us. I have the Recluses too, but if I'm cutting the imprisonments, I'm going to have way less blood token access. I guess I could do draw card instead. Just turn the imprisonments into extra cards. It's not the worst idea. We lose a little bit of removal, but we gain some card advantage. Maybe one card draw, one Rallier. Could do that. I don't know if they're just thinking about this turn or what's going on, but they obviously need to stop 2 of our flyers or we have lethal. They can't just stop 1. They didn't do anything, so we're going to attack. Maybe I was supposed to play Henrika. No, I guess I can just play a Heron of Hope. Not sure what they're doing. They're just timing out right now. All right. So they ended up conceding. Same thing as before. Let's dump the imprisonments. That's not going to do it. Thankfully, Circle of Confinement and Fierce Retributions and Piercing Lights are still great, so we don't have to worry about that. I think we'll do at least 1 pointed discussion, and still considering whether I want to do 1 Rallier, maybe. Could also do 2 pointed discussions. I do have Mind Leech Ghoul as a way to interact with their hand as well, making them exile, which can be good. They have card advantage, though. I like it a little bit less. We have a couple good sack outlets for it. It also randomly can just be a 2-drop beater, which doesn't look awful against them either. It doesn't look great either. So, Does Rallier look particularly good either, though? Looks okay. Stops these shenanigans. Blocks well against that. All right, you know what? I'll do the 1 Rallier. Typically, the blue-black decks have better late game than a lot of decks. Exploit gives you a lot of late game value. So, for that reason, maybe I could just get away with doing 2 pointed discussions. All right, I'll risk it. I'll risk the fact that they could potentially beat me down and hope that my life-gaining flyers are enough here. Well, usually I'm not one to keep 6 landers, but I think when your 1 card's Blood Bile Purveyor, you hope. Uh-oh. Well, they have counter magic up, which makes me think maybe Traveler's where I'm supposed to be, but I think we got to go for it here. guess Innocent Traveler's a little bit worse against the Specimen as well, isn't it? Still play the Traveler here. Guess we can play Blood Fountain too. Whoops. Oh, I see. So they can make me... Well, I still don't have to chump, though. I think I'm going to take it. So they can sack the Specimen. All right, let's go land, Griff Rider. Guess I can sack one of these. All right, and we'll pass. I can't really afford to attack there. So we'll do some more rummaging with our blood token here. I'm surprised they sacked there. So I can attack for, I think we attack. It's a little aggressive, but I have 2 Fierce Retributions, so I think we do it. not the worst. Not great for us either. Ooh, gosh, if only I could gain life. Well, we're still getting in there. So they do have Consuming Tide in that deck, right? Or was that previous deck? No, I can't remember. So they can deal with both of our guys, they kill us. If they can't deal with both, then we certainly have lethal in the air. But, I mean, they basically only have to deal with Purveyor still, and it buys them at least one more turn. Although, then I can at least end of turn Blood Fountain and get it back, too, which is nice. Alright, so this was the Consuming Tide deck. So, which one are they choosing? Who chooses first, too? I'm not dead. It makes me want to keep the Purveyor. Because if they play 2 more spells, they die to that. So, alright. And then I guess I follow up with Traveler and Rider. Problem is they're going to take us to 1. Oh yeah, it bounces all their things too, but... yeah, I don't know. Well, they should have attacked first if they were going to do this. Oh, well, that was a mistake. Or does it not really matter? They get a 2/2 anyway, so I guess maybe it's not a mistake. So they can't do the persistent specimen. We also can't quite kill them, which makes this challenging. What can I do with 8 mana? Well, I think I play 3 creatures. Or 2 creatures and then pass, because I don't have lethal. I don't want to just let them kill me with a removal spell. I don't like that. If I could kill them, this would be easy, but I can't. So I think we play it a little more chill. Eight mana. Well, guess we can do Heron Blessed Geist plus Courier Bat. We don't have any enchantments though, so basically it just makes the best use of mana to do that. And I still can chump with my bat, so I think I might do that. Not the best use of mana, but Purveyor really does seem like our only true path to victory here. I mean, they can just burn blood tokens like crazy. Oh, I forgot that Hullbreaker Horror just lets you bounce everything. Oh yeah, I forgot. That's why Hullbreaker Horror is broken. I forgot. I don't think... Do we have any... No, we have outs for Hullbreaker Horror. That's not true. We have Fierce Retributions. You have to pay 6 mana for it, but... Sigarda's... Once again, Sigarda's imprisonment is not going to do it here. Wonder if I need to aggro them down. Well, Henrika's cool, but it's not going to keep me alive. I can do Henrika plus Purveyor. They already know we have both, right? Whatever. I don't really care if they know. All right, let's go to game 3. And what do we want to do in game 3 for Hullbreaker Horror? Like I said, we have Fierce Retribution. We're already running those. Maybe I want to do more aggro. Could do that. We have decent ways to buy time, though. But I could go for the Ralliers instead of the point of discussion. Try that. More of a beatdown plan. Maybe one Rallier, maybe one Trainee. Maybe I get off like the exploit plan a little bit. Like I could dump the center. Maybe dump to center, bring in Rallier. Maybe dump Butler and bring in Ghoul. I mean, they do have... Maybe we dump the Fountain and keep in Dissenter or Butler. Maybe the Dissenter. I mean, Butler gets more things back, but their spot removal is like Grisly Ritual. They have Bounce, Gifted Fangs, Chill. So the removal they're showing us... Oh, but do I want the Trainee? Maybe Trainee's better than either Ghoul or Dissenter. Maybe Trainee's better than Dissenter. Ghoul is just so I could randomly hit the Hullbreaker, even if I was super lucky. I don't know. Maybe cutting Heron's not a bad idea. That way we can be a little bit more aggro. Like, I like having all the flying, but at the same time, we need to... Problem is, Doom Dissenter is not a very good beater. Maybe the Heron is okay. All right. Oh, we need another card here, too. Dissenter. I don't really like the Piercing Light here very much, but... All right. All right. Yeah, it's actually a fantastic hand. Dissenter into Fellstinger, Exploit. It's pretty slick. Then we have Rallier to eventually attack with. If we can get all this going before they get to, you know, 7 mana, could beat Hullbreaker Horror. That was unexpected. Guess we can dump one of those. Oh, that's a good draw too. Let's get in there for one, play the Fellstinger, sack, so that way we get to draw 2, get a Death Toucher on board, get a 2/2, find some more action. All right. Well, we have the horror answer. That's cool. I guess Rallier makes the best use of mana. Trainee kind of just attacks well here. Uh-oh. Well, at least Fellstinger can get in there. All right, here we'll probably just do the Heron because it flies. It's pretty good value. We're just going to go Rallier plus Fierce Retribution here. Or Trainee, rather. That way we can... I can Fierce Retribution the Serpent to get in there. It's pretty good. Kind of like that. Oh, boarded window, huh? It's pretty good here, actually. So, let's see. Let's say I hardcast Fierce Retribution, kill Serpent, attack with team. Everything would have to... Training does still get bigger, but it's only one, so that's not good enough. So I think we just get in with the Heron of Hope here and play another one. That's not what I expected them to do. I would have done the Heron if I were them, but... Oh, I should have played the other one to gain more life. Whoops. My bad. Well, I mean, in theory, I can still ping them down with Heron of Hopes. And then I just have to save Fierce Retribution for when they get to 7 mana. I think I can do that. I guess I can attack with Bellstinger too. Bellstinger as well, I should say. Oh, maybe not. That was a good draw. So we'll get in with the Herons, play the Heron Blessed Geist. And then we're actually threatening to blow up boarded windows here at a certain point, getting there. All right, so they have Hullbreaker Haven Horror. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Hullbreaker Haven. Hullbreaker Horror mana. I just hope they cast it so I can kill it. Oh, man. That's not the one I wanted. I mean, thankfully I can still attack into that, and I'm going to, but that's not what I wanted to see. I can kill the Scab. Oh, well, it's actually pretty perfect. Oh, that's good. Because now, I think I can blow up boarded window. And I don't even have to leave up Fierce Retribution. Maybe I just, in case they have bounce, so I can replay Heron, not give lifelink here. Although they would just bounce Heron Blessed Geist, wouldn't they? That's true. All right. That's very true. And then I wouldn't be able to replay it anyway, so we're just going to give lifelink. All right, good. Border Windows is gone. Exiled. Finito. Which means we still have that Fierce Retribution for the pesky Hullbreaker Horror. All right. Bleed Dry. I'm okay with that. Not the end of the world. Do I have lethal yet? Say I attack with everything. They have 3 blockers. I have 5 attackers. I mean, they're going to be able to block all 3 of my guys anyway, so I think we just attack with the Herons here. Now I'll just do 1 in case they do have something so I can replay it. All right. Well, we're attacking with everything now. Guess we might as well untap, I don't know, Heron. Doesn't really matter. I guess that's why they tapped the Militia Rallier, because I could have tapped and they could have... I see what could have happened. I get it. I get it now. So Serpent goes in the Rallier. Might be able to Piercing Light there. So let's light the, yeah, we're gonna light the Serpent. Don't need that. Let's let damage happen. I guess we can do this. All right, so we have 3 lethal attackers. Hullbreaker Horror, we can Fierce Retribution at least. Although they're at 9 mana now, so it's a lot. But they don't have Hullbreaker Horror mana, so... Wow. We beat Hullbreaker Horror, and we didn't even have to use Purveyor? Well, I guess we didn't really beat Hullbreaker Horror because I never saw it. But we did have the answer for Hullbreaker Horror. As long as they didn't have, you know... At that point, they had so much mana, it's like you could play Hullbreaker Horror and still protect it. But, all right. Got the draft. Obviously, the deck was amazing when you have multiple... I was going to say multiple mythics, but no. Purveyor, also not a mythic. All right. Let's open some packs and do some pack one, pick ones. Pack one, pick one here. I probably go... Honestly, I wanna use the Catgeist. I really like Catgeist conceptually. Very cheap. Great tempo card. But I feel like the safest pick is like a Scavenger just because it's a very solid card. Death Toucher, Life Drainer, gets rid of Disturb. A lot of utility in that. I'd probably still take Catgeist until I've decided I don't like it anymore, but for now I like it. It's pretty dirty with some good tempo backup. How have I never seen this card? What does this do? I've never seen this card before. Exile a creature card from your graveyard, create a token's copy of it, except it's a 0/0 construct artifact, in addition to its other types, and it has this creature gets +1/+1 for each construct you control. Gains haste until end of turn. Still seems kind of good to me. Still seems really good. So basically turns it into like a 1/1, but it still has all of its like, you know, passive abilities. It's pretty awesome. I like it. I'd probably take it and try it. This pack also has Bleed Dry and Abrade in it, which are both amazing as well. All right, pack one, pick one. Old Rutstein, gold card, but I love this card. You get so much utility out of it. Great card. Yeah, Pack Song Pup in here too. Another great one. All right, here. Yeah, I guess we just take Runo. You get a creature back, potentially if you're running 6 or greater. casting costs, then you get this 3/5 that just makes dirty copies. This can copy Hullbreaker Horror, can't it? Yeah. As if there wasn't enough with that card. You really have to rub it in. All right. Grolnok, the Omnivore, is a fun one. And I haven't gotten to play with it yet, but it's a strong card. How many frogs are there? There's probably not that many, but this is a frog, and getting free lands and cast spells, it's pretty awesome. I'll take Grolnok here. Another one? Well, I'm still on board. I'd give it a try. I like it. It is a gold card, but it looks pretty fun. And finally, we have Forebear. I've played this before. Great card. Can't block, but 3 mana, 3 power flyer. And then you can get it back from your graveyard to the battlefield, and it just spits out more blood tokens. Awesome card. All right. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you for the next one.